What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another movie review. I'm Chase Lee, and the movie I want to take a look at right now is Star Wars Episode 9 The Rise of Skywalker. Now, this one comes from Disney slash Lucasfilm. It is directed by J.J. Abrams, and this is the ninth film in the overall Skywalker saga, and it's the third film in the modern trilogy that we've gotten so far. And this one kind of picks up, a little bit after The Last Jedi, and we see Rey trying to find this MacGuffin of some sort and trying to skirt around plot details in case you want to keep it, non-spoiler up in this joint, which is totally fine with me. While they're trying to find this MacGuffin, they're also, teaming up with the Resistance and everything, and trying to take on the First Order. And Kylo Ren is also, he meets a character from past movies, and that character tells him to go defeat Rey and all the Resistance and everything. And then we get to the final battle where the Resistance and the First Order kind of go head to head, and then a bunch of revelations happen, and then the movie just ends, and then the saga ends. So, my brief history with this franchise, if you guys were curious, I'm a casual fan. I'm not a hardcore fan. I don't know names or places. There's probably a character named Blark Blark or something. I have no clue. I don't know what their backstory is. It just is what it is. But yeah, I like the Force Awakens. I love the Last Jedi. So I've been kind of pretty high on this modern trilogy so far. So I was excited to see the Rise of Skywalker, see how it would end, how would the movie tie into the modern trilogy, to the overall 9 movies. Like, a lot of questions to be had for sure, but I was still excited to check this one out. So, Star Wars Episode 9 The Rise of Skywalker. I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay, and I tried to think on it for a day, and I still couldn't come to like whether I liked it or hated it. It was just like, it's just there for me. I don't know what it was. I don't know if there was like an emotional disconnect. I don't know if stuff was happening on screen that just wasn't clicking with me. I don't know what it was. But overall, it's just a down the road middle of the movie for me. Now, if it wasn't a part of the Star Wars brand and this was just some random space adventure, I probably would have dug it. But since this has got so much baggage on it and so much connective tissue to other films, it is disappointing and it is underwhelming. And so let me do my best to kind of explain this for you guys. So let's get with some of the positives, because I know a lot of people are going to dog on this movie, but I try to look at film criticism from all different angles. Film is making a film is it's a massive undertaking. There's a lot of different jobs on a specific film. It's not just one thing. So, some of the positives with this movie, as always, the visual effects are out of this world, literally. Um, I always like the fact that Star Wars was able to make films that use practical and computer generated effects. It's a great blend, and it just provides so much atmosphere and fun, and just you get a sense that everything that you're watching is an actual place, and it just, the production design is on point, the costuming, it's all just wonderful to look at, and just so much imagination and creativity that goes into creatures, locations. All that is always great. There was one scene where the green screen, blending in with the actor in the background wasn't necessarily, excuse me, good. But for the most part, all stellar work on that level alone. The acting all around is good. There are characters that get shoved to the side. Kelly Marie Tran's character, Finn and Poe also get sidelined. Pretty much everyone else that isn't Rey and Kylo Ren. I thought that Daisy Ridley did a better job in this one than she has in other movies. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just supposed to be the emotional climax for her character, but I thought she did a better job really committing and finding her kind of emotional footing with this character. And by the end of it, I was like, I didn't really care for the movie overall, but like I can recognize that she did pretty well. And then Adam Driver has always been, I think, one of the better things about this modern trilogy. Kylo Ren is such a fascinating character to follow because you know that he's bad, but he can be good, and like you just want him to be good, so all that stuff. I think Adam Driver kind of makes that work for this character, and you know the confliction that he has within himself. I think that's really apparent when you see it on Adam's face or the way he carries himself. He knows how to play this character, and he does it pretty well. So those are two of my favorite performances for sure. Yeah, so acting, technical stuff out of the way. Okay, so here are, I think, my major issue. Oh, let's do another positive. The cinematography is once again great. This modern trilogy has always had a sleek look to it. Whether it be J.J. Abrams or Rian Johnson, really saturated in color, really interesting camera angles. It's really well shot. It doesn't have to be, but they put, and my voice is cracked. It doesn't have to be, but they put a lot of effort into it, and it looks gorgeous as this kind of like wonderful space opera. Okay, so some of my issues with the film basically rely all within story and choices to put certain things in there and not concentrate on other stuff. So, the overall story of finding the MacGuffin, going from planet to planet, and then the third act, final battle, all that's fine with me. Because that's the basic structure for any Star Wars film. I mean, can we all agree with that? So I have no issue with the actual, like, just kind of story structure, people going to this, and that, and then final battle, okay. Like, that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that it feels like J.J. Abrams, Chris Terrio, and whoever else wrote the story to this, and some of the producers, it just feels like they're rushing to this finish line and getting done with the movie as fast as possible and not having any weight to anything that we're seeing. You have an impossible task to do. You are trying to connect 3 of the modern films together and the overall 9 films together at the same time. So you're going to sideline characters. You're going to inject stuff from older movies to connect to stuff to take away from time from new stuff and vice versa. And so a lot of stuff does seem like it is forced. It seems like it's injected without purpose, or it just doesn't have any type of emotional baggage to it to make us cling on to it, to make us care about it. A lot of stuff with Rey and her backstory. A lot of stuff with Leia's character getting sidelined. A lot of unnecessary stops to try to tie up loose ends with like Poe and Finn. It all just seemed like, oh, we gotta tie all these things up. We gotta rush it. 2.5 hours. We just gotta go here. We gotta go there. Just go, and then final battle, and then we'll be done. Okay. And it just didn't seem like there was any thought behind it. It was just, let's rush it out to go here, introduce them, and just get there. I didn't feel it. That's where the disconnect comes from. Even with the big reveal with Rey, everyone in my audience was like, what? Like, it didn't have the same impact because it just comes out of nowhere. And I know a lot of people online are saying it retcons everything from The Last Jedi and just it's a Force Awakens sequel. That's not entirely the case. I mean, they still carry over stuff from The Last Jedi. They just kind of move on from it very quickly, and they kind of change and adapt it just ever so slightly to kind of skew it in this way instead of that way. But it's still, the essence of that movie is still there. But there was just a lot of choices that were made that just didn't seem to make sense with the overall story, or it felt like it was just there to be there and have no purpose, or there was just some type of emotional disconnect. There was just so many things that kind of hinders your experience a little bit. But if you, like I said, if you want to look at it as just a normal little space adventure movie, then it's fine. As a Star Wars film, it's fine because the pros are up here. the cons are right here. They balance each other out. And so, yeah, I mean, I have really no more thoughts behind it. I can't. This is not a spoiler review, so I'm not going to spoil stuff. But the spoilery stuff of this movie are kind of my issue with it. Especially the end. The end of the movie. Why was it said that way? That's all. That's all I'll say. Why was it said that way? And it's just. Um. But yeah, I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. I also don't think it's good or like great. It's serviceable, but it's definitely the weakest one of this trilogy. I still love The Last Jedi the most. Then I would go The Force Awakens, and then I would go The Rise of Skywalker. But as far as satisfaction and just completion of this saga, there was an emptiness that was left at the end of this movie, and I don't think that's a good thing. So that emptiness, that void that I was missing, is where I think it falls apart, and that's kind of important when you want to be invested in something. So that's my thoughts on the movie. I'm kind of neither here nor there. Not good, not bad. So I'm gonna get people in the comments be like, "You hated this movie, or you love this movie? What are you, crazy?" There's pros and cons to it. They're balanced. It's a C. This movie's a C. I'm gonna give it a C. So Star Wars Episode 9: The Rise of Skywalker, I'm gonna give it a C. But let me know down below all your things. I don't know. I'm probably gonna get blasted in the comments either way. But let me know down below what you thought of the movie, good or bad. I like to read the comments, and I just love discussion. So please keep it civil down there. But that will do it for this review, guys. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get up-to-dates on whenever I do movie reviews or just whatever. And click that notification bell so you can make sure they hit your subscription feed. But that will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.